By now, you have probably heard of the company called Groupon, even though it started only 3 years ago as a side project of a quirky young Midwesterner. What he did was reinvent the coupon, turning it into a digital tool for bargain hunting at your neighborhood stores. The company took off almost overnight. It's global now, raking in hundreds of millions of dollars a month. Wall Street took notice. This past November, Groupon had the biggest initial public stock offering, or IPO, of any internet company since Google. The company's worth jumped to an unexpected $18 billion on the first day of trading. And yet, Groupon is the subject of a fierce debate. Will it revolutionize how we shop in the long run, or just end up a passing fad? The answer depends in part on the 31-year-old who came up with the idea, Groupon's founder and CEO, Andrew Mason.
The story will continue in a moment.
What is a Groupon?
A Groupon is essentially a voucher that's worth money that you can take into a business and use like cash. When you subscribe and you get these emails every day, it's a great way to explore your city and get and find out about really cool local things to do.
The deals are at least 50% off. So for example, a $40 meal for a $20 coupon, or a half-off hot air balloon ride. Groupon has 150 million subscribers who get a daily email with deal offers from local businesses.
Is it usually for something that we don't really need?
It could be. Sometimes it's for a restaurant or a massage or
that kind of stuff.
A session in a sensory deprivation tank, but sometimes it's for a hardware store, dry cleaning.
The company began in 2008 at the height of the recession when everyone was looking for a bargain. And then it grew so quickly, so fast, it took everyone by surprise, including Andrew Mason.
Once we started Groupon, the success was intoxicating, and it was just this rocket ship ride that you couldn't let go, but you didn't want to let go either.
Not only did Mason launch a retail revolution, he brought the company to a place where, in this economy, they hire up to 150 new employees a week.
How many people do work for Groupon?
Across all 46 countries that we're in, we have about 10,000 people.
Groupon's headquarters in Chicago is part tech startup, part old-fashioned call center.
Hi, this is Sadie calling with Groupon.
Unlike most .com rocket ships, Groupon looks like a real business. Where most websites rely on algorithms, Groupon relies on actual human beings.
And did you want to go ahead with the 25 or 50 for the mani-pedi deal? Or
what these human beings, the salespeople, do is think up deal ideas, then convince local merchants to offer them at half price.
So what we're going to do is actually customize a deal specifically to you.
Groupon has found out by trial and error how to present its deals. Used to be male and female subscribers got the same emails every day. Now Groupon is tailoring its offers by age and gender.
Yeah, it turns out that guys don't like deals on laser hair removal or pole dancing lessons.
Or Brazilian bikini waxes.
Yeah.
The merchants don't necessarily make money. The offers are half price to begin with, and Groupon takes nearly 50% of that. But it's a marketing tool that gets lots of people in the door. When the Shed Aquarium in Chicago ran a Groupon, 14,000 people showed up. It's a group coupon, a Groupon.
What you did was you took a spam business, a junk mail business, and somehow made it entertaining and cool.
We do realize that we're sending people an email every single day, and that could get annoying. So there's got to be something else there that keeps you engaged and keeps you from unsubscribing.
That something is the absurdist humor in the Daily Deal write-ups. 400 writers and editors, more than most newsrooms, come up with hundreds of these pitches a day with twists of phrases and logic. Here's one for a dentist. Humans developed smiles as a way to deflect predators in the wild and former bosses in the grocery store. The loopy write-ups give Groupon its personality, which seems to seep down from the very top.
Andrew Mason is known as a little wacky himself. As a gag, his executive washroom is a porta potty. And look at this.
Exhale, step back into plank position.
Can you name another CEO with a demo on YouTube
Inhale.
in which you're sitting around in front of a Christmas tree in your skivvies
One more time.
doing yoga?
No, and that's a huge problem.
The problem is that he now runs a huge company, and his urge to be goofy makes him one of the most unlikely corporate CEOs you'll ever meet.
I think if there's any difference between me and a traditional CEO, it's that I've been unwilling to change myself or shape my personality around what's expected.
So here's a question that you hear a lot. Is Andrew Mason ready to be a CEO?
Am I as experienced or mature or smart as other CEOs?
A big company's
Yeah.
worth as much as yours.
Yeah, no, probably not. But there's something I think very useful about having a founder as the CEO.
According to Forbes magazine, it's so useful, Groupon is the fastest growing company ever. Enter their offices and there's the Forbes cover, but it's surrounded by other covers of high-tech has-beens, as if they're asking themselves, could we be the next to fall by the wayside? It's a good question.
Well, the greatest challenge to their business is that it's unclear that it's defensible.
Andrew Ross Sorkin, financial columnist for the New York Times and host at CNBC, says the biggest downside is how easy the model is to replicate.
There are 500 other competitors out there that all want to do and be Groupon. Amazon is getting into this business. Others are getting into this business. Google is getting into this business.
But what Andrew Mason will tell you is that so far they've killed them all off. So far, they have spent an extraordinary amount of money to market their business so that they've been able to beat back a lot of the competition. Right.
The question is, if you're spending as much money as they are, whether that you can actually create a profit long term.
That's given rise to doubts about the very sustainability of the company. For one, they spend more money than they take in on such things as wooing new subscribers, and it's expensive to employ 10,000 people. By contrast, Facebook has less than 3,000.
At the moment, they have yet to turn a profit.
They've yet to turn a profit at all.
At all.
Hi, thanks for calling Groupon. This is Bethany. How can I help you?
Add to that horror stories from merchants, like the baker who made 102,000 cupcakes for all the Groupon buyers. But with the steep markdowns, she lost $20,000. And businesses complain Groupon customers come once and never want to pay full price again.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that.
But Mason was still the new boy wonder until the summer, when he decided to make Groupon a publicly traded company, and it had to open its books. What raised eyebrows were the accounting tricks that made their huge marketing costs disappear on paper. And they also double counted how much money they were bringing in. So on their books, they made $60 million in 2010, when in reality they lost $420 million. Analysts began calling Groupon unviable, a Ponzi scheme, and wondered if any grown-ups were minding the store.
There are things we would have done differently and we would have loved to avoid.
But it really hurt you. It looked as though something was fishy.
I think the big thing about Groupon is just people had never seen anything grow quite so fast, and that made people want to dig in and be skeptical. And
No, but you contributed to it. You didn't put the honest revenue figure down. You left out marketing costs. It seemed like a Bush League mistake.
I
don't
think it's fair to say that it wasn't an honest revenue figure, and a Bush League mistake that our auditors looked at and thought was like, smart people can get this stuff wrong. We're inventing a new industry. Like if we were smart, evil people, we would be more cunning and subtle in our evil ways, you know?
At the time, Mason couldn't address the mounting criticism because companies are prohibited from giving interviews in the lead up to going public. But his impatience drove him to do something that drew the wrath of the regulators. He answered the criticisms in an internal memo to his 10,000 employees, and sure enough, it leaked.
Here's some of the adjectives that were used to describe you when that memo leaked. Thin-skinned, impetuous, and childish.
Look, I'm not going to pretend like it's been fun to sit here and have something that we've poured our hearts into over the last 3 years and see it criticized while we have our mouths taped shut. It's kind of like we've now been hazed, you know. We're like Wolverine and our skin has been melted off and we've had adamantium fused onto our bones and it's made the culture stronger as a result.
I'm not sure what that means. But Groupon ended up having a wildly successful opening day, trading on NASDAQ as a public company.
On the first trading day, your personal worth jumped to $1.3 billion. Are you checking the stock price every minute? Be true. Come on. How often?
I checked it once yesterday afternoon, and then I felt dirty, and I haven't checked it again since. Do you know?
No, I don't.
Now I want to know. How's it doing?
Well, it's been zigzagging just above and below the initial trading price.
You just hit buy?
Buy. I bought it.
Mason continues to expand the company. He showed me how he's moving deals onto mobile devices.
Oh, I want to get pampered.
But the questions remain. Will Groupon become part of our lives, like Google and Amazon? Or will it be relegated to the .com dustbin? And will the founder have to tone it down?
I saw you at NASDAQ, I guess it was, and there you were in this Armani kind of suit and a tie.
How could,
what's
an Armani type of suit?
Really
exactly
nice
does that
suit,
look
an
like?
expensive
Nice, okay.
suit. Was that the first tie you ever owned? Do you even own the tie? Did you rent the tie?
No, I own over 4 ties.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you think about showing up in a suit and tie for 60 Minutes?
No, I asked if I should.
And?
And they said that I shouldn't.
That you shouldn't.
So maybe, you know what? Maybe I am changing because I might have not asked before.